So when he starts, we don't have phones. He just tell me a certain time to go there and pick him up. Like, no, he didn't have a phone. I still was using my phone. Like I said, my mom was paying my cell phone bill off and on, and we still had the food stamp phone. So this one particular day, he tells me to go up there and pick him up at this certain time. Oh, you can imagine now. This is where all the argument starts. We was doing good for weeks. I didn't hear nothing about the outside baby, and I was fine with that. I was just, like, good. We was, like, in a good space. So this day, he's like, okay, come at 5 or 6 o'clock or something. I'm going to be outside. Just be here at this time. So I come there, and I usually, when I'm picking you up or whatever, I always come like 15 or 10 minutes early and just sit and just chill out in the parking lot. So that's exactly what I did before the time he told me to come. So I'm sitting there. Now, mind you, I got a 18-month-old and a 2-year-old and my daughter or whatever. My son usually likes staying at home because he doesn't really like him like that. So as much time that he could get by himself and without us all home, he's willing to do it. So we're out there for 10, 15 minutes. Then it goes to 20 minutes. Then it's 30 minutes. Then it's 45 minutes. So we're out there. And mind you, I see other people coming out, but I don't see him coming out. So this one lady comes out and she's like, can I help you? I said, yeah, my boyfriend is here. He doesn't have a phone, but he told me to come at this certain time. And he's a temp worker here. And she was like, oh, there's no more temp workers here. I was like, but he told me to come get him at this time. He said this is the time he gets off. She was like, well, all of them are left already. I said, oh, okay. I was like, oh, maybe he just caught a ride with one of his friends or something like that, and he didn't, I guess, take it to consideration to call me because he knew I was going to come straight there. So I get home, start cooking, getting the kids ready, taking them a shower, whatever, and then I hear a knock on the door. So I go to the door. It's one of his homeboys. And his homeboys hand me his phone. And I'm like, what's this? He's like, it's, him. And so I picked it up. Oh, I was called every name in the book. I've been sitting out here for 15 minutes. Where are you? This don't make no sense. I told you to be here at this and this and this time, and you're not even here. Just going off on me. I was like, okay, I'm coming. So when I get there, them same kids are with me. He's just going off, yelling at me. You can't follow directions. I told you to be out here, and now I'm getting loud now because you're calling me stupid and all this other stuff. And I was out here for almost 20 minutes waiting for you, and I told you that. And I'm trying to tell you, like, the lady told me to leave. She told me nobody was there, which now I figured that it probably was true, and he knew whoever picked him up couldn't drop him off home because he knew that I would think some other female. You know how that goes. Like, he knew. So instead of going back to the house, he probably had, I don't know, but I felt like that was so out of pocket. Like, that didn't even make no sense. So we're arguing back and forth. Now he's getting mad, and when people are when people are mad, they tell the truth. So in one voice, he goes, man, I'm still heated about your brother and his homeboy coming to the apartment and hit me. He's so lucky. Man, I ain't even tell my mama, because he tells his mom almost everything. Like, I was like, I don't care if you would have told your mom. Like, I don't understand how that would have affect me if you told your mom about that. Like, that's my brother. Just like you have 3 other sisters, I think you would understand. But I was not. But anyways, he was like, oh, if I see your brother right now, I don't care. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm putting him in the dirt. I don't give a damn. And I was like, in my head, I was like, where is that coming from? But then I knew he was holding that. Anger. Because he didn't have a chance to hit my brother back. So we get to the house. Now it's bad terms again. So I'm like, okay. So the second time, they give him his money, but then the third week, now they're holding the money again, and we're trying to figure out, now this time, before they give him his money, he's out there, like, I got off at 4 o'clock. Yeah, I got off at 4 o'clock, so I went to go get the kids, came back. We sat in that parking lot, me and my children, except my son, because he was at the house watching TV or playing on his video game. We sat on that work site because he was supposed to get off like at 6 or 7. He didn't get off until 1 o'clock that morning. There was like, telling everybody, they're going to pay them, they're going to pay them, they're going to pay them. And mind you, he had to wait a couple of days to get paid. So when he does, they gave him like a good lump. They gave him like $900 or something like that for that lump sum. But then the next day, they ended up firing everybody. And he was saying the reason they ended up firing everybody because his uncle or his cousin, everybody was his cousin. Everybody was related to him. I don't know who this person was, some crackhead or something. They ended up paying one of his people that he got, to mop the hole inside the church. And I think it was like $1,300 or $1,500. That man took that money and ran. Didn't come back. They called. They tried to tell everybody. The crew was trying, because none of them wanted to leave the job. And mind you, a lot of them were street boys. So this is their actual getting paycheck. And they were actually finding purpose of trying to leave the streets. But when that guy did that, they ended up all getting cut. And then Paula White and her church or whatever the scandal got much larger or whatever the case may be. So he ended up, that was his really final check. So he only gave me like $400 for that month. But then he turns around and buy a dog. And I got mad because I was like, why didn't you discuss that with me first before you went and bought a dog? Because a puppy, and it was a pit bull. I'm like, we got a little baby, a toddler, and then even his oldest daughter was starting to come back around. I got all these 3 little kids running around, plus your mom's dog, which is house trained, and this puppy that isn't. So with the rest of the money, I guess he was gonna flip. But I don't understand how you're gonna flip and you be smoking your own products. That's when all the problem started. So now he's doing what he's doing in the streets or whatever. And there's one particular day, like, now every morning I take my kids to go. I drop them off every morning myself, because I know some